It's finally college basketball season, and in just our first night of action, the stars are already out. In a tune-up game against the Maine Black Bears, Cooper Flagg and the Duke Blue Devils suit up, ready for the season. Although Maine is simply playing Duke to give them some practice, this will be an excellent opportunity to see Duke's true freshman, Cooper Flagg, a Maine native himself, in action. Flagg is one of the most highly touted prospects in recent college basketball history and the top recruit of his class. But without further ado, let's get into breaking down this game and see if his game can translate to the next level. As the game got underway, to no one's surprise, Duke opened up the scoring. Freshman guard Con Kneppel was able to take advantage of his opponent's closeout and put the ball on the floor, getting his way to the basket to get his first collegiate points. Then Cooper Flagg was able to show off his playmaking abilities, finding yet another freshman, Kaman Maluach out of South Sudan, for a bucket down low. Maine was finally able to get their scoring going, but Flagg was able to calm them down, finding Maluach for yet another bucket in very similar fashion to the first. Keon Burns for Maine was able to tie it up, but Caleb Foster for Duke was able to finish through contact at the rack to get to the line, even though he unfortunately missed out on the and one opportunity. But the Black Bears were keeping the game competitive, as Christopher Mantis knocked down a smooth triple to keep the game within just one possession. But then, Kneppel would be able to get to the bucket after a steal, earning his sixth quick point of the game. And then, to really get himself and the Duke student section going, Kneppel was able to hit his first three, showing that he was for real and that he was all that they had hoped he would be. Then, Cooper Flagg was able to grab a steal off of a bad pass, and although he was fouled, he would get his first chance at points on the offensive possession, when Maine committed a shooting foul, sending him to the line where he would be able to sink both, earning the first points of what's sure to be a bright college career. And then, if you thought that Kneppel couldn't get any better, you were wrong. He was able to drain a transition three-pointer off of a Malik Brown steal, knocking it down through contact, and was able to convert the 4-point play, giving Duke 4 unanswered points. Although Cooper Flagg was out of the game, the rest of the Duke squad still showed out. Con Kneppel was able to find his teammate Mason Gillis in the corner for a 3, and the Blue Devils were all of a sudden up 26-9. Maine would get a 3-pointer to fall in, but the next time that they got the ball in transition, Kaman Maluach would punish them, coming from behind and dominantly swatting the ball. Duke was doing exactly what they needed to do in order to win, and they were giving the Duke fans in attendance a reason to be excited for the rest of the year, especially with all the raw freshman talent on display. The two teams would go back and forth for a few minutes, but finally, a little over halfway through the first half, Cooper Flagg was able to get his first field goal of his college career. Following his teammate's shot, Flagg was able to secure a rebound and confidently put a shot back up for a quick 2 points. Although he was not able to connect on an alley-oop that would have made the entire crowd go crazy, Flagg would be able to throw it down a couple minutes later, showing off his quick first step and getting to the rack, hammering down a one-handed slam.
University of Maine campus, so his home state school, and he's doing things like that against the Black Bears.
He's so good at putting it on the floor, again, in transition.
Then, Flagg would be able to find his teammate Sion James on the wing, once again showing off his playmaking. Flagg showed that even for a player of his size, he can find his teammates with ease, proving he's a true and dangerous weapon. Sion would repay Flagg, giving him the ball in the post, where Flagg would go to work, getting under the basket for a reverse layup, and bringing the score to 42-29. Going into the half, Duke held an 11-point lead. Although it seemed safe, we know that anything can happen in college ball. Although it was a great half, where the Duke freshmen were able to show off their pure skills and abilities. But after Cooper Flagg was stripped to start off the half, and after Maine was able to get a 3-pointer off of the steal, the Black Bears had brought the game to within single digits, and it was clear that the Blue Devils needed to bring up the intensity to destroy any sliver of hope that their opponent had. And Duke was able to do just that. Tyrese Proctor was able to knock down a 3 shortly after, and Cooper Flagg was able to find himself at the foul line once again, and the Blue Devils seemed to be in their rhythm. The Black Bears were still going strong, however, as Keelan Steele was able to use his size and get an and one bucket on a putback. But then, Cooper Flagg, after getting going once again with a bucket, was able to drive baseline and find Con Kneppel in the corner, who was already having a hot game, making it even better as he knocked down the shot. Then Malik Brown was able to thread the needle and find his teammate Sion James in the paint, where he was able to take advantage of the excellent pass while cashing in on the bucket. Then James was able to knock down another shot, bringing Duke to a lead of 21 points, showing that they could turn it on and put their opponent under. They were hitting shots and they were making it hard for their opponent to score. And even while they were up big, the freshmen were still showing off their games. Con Kneppel was able to come down with a tough rebound on defense and take it all the way back to the rack, cashing in on yet another bucket. Flagg got in on the action as well, as he was able to break away with a steal and throw down a mean slam in transition. At this point, Duke was playing with their food, but it was what we expected of them, as they looked down on the less talented and skilled main team, who was just trying their best against one of the biggest powerhouses in the nation. But they still weren't done. Flagg was able to receive the ball in the post and face up to drive to the hoop, where he cashed in with a left-hand floater. He then was able to get to the line, knocking down 2 more foul shots for 2 more points. Duke was showing no mercy, as Tyrese Proctor knocked down a 3, which was shortly followed by a 3-pointer from Caleb Foster. But then, as they were cruising along, Duke had quite the scare. After missing a high-flying layup, Flagg landed awkwardly and was slow to get up. He'd been productive and effective, but without him, how good could Duke really be? Flagg was a key asset, and when a key asset goes down, it's the last thing that you want to see. He walked gingerly to the bench, and it looked like he was going to be okay, but that would be all for Flagg at his debut. To finish off the game strong for the Blue Devils, Darren Harris and Mason Gillis would each nail a 3, and as the clock expired, to no one's surprise, it was Duke on top by an impressive score of 96-62. The game surely gave Duke students and fans something to be excited about this season. Not only was Flagg exciting to watch as expected, he showcased how effective his all-around game is with 18 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and even notching 3 steals. Even with the injury scare, it was fun to watch him play, and basketball fans around the world are more than happy that he was up and smiling on the bench after the injury. Additionally, for the Blue Devils, Con Kneppel was able to make himself more known as a key piece to the Blue Devils squad this year. He led the entire game in scoring with his 22 points and added on a couple of rebounds and assists to his stat line to start off his college career in a great way. Coming up soon, though, Duke will have a huge test against Kentucky and their new coach, Mark Pope. They'll also get to face off against a couple of Big 12 powerhouse teams, Kansas and Arizona, before conference play begins, which means that we can get an even better vision of how real this team is. But how do you think the Blue Devils will do this year? Will Con Kneppel and Cooper Flagg propel them to a historic season? Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one.